hope you guys enjoy this video, and it is going to be a talk through video because I've been doing a lot of voiceover videos and I just kind of wanted to sit down and talk to you guys. So let's get right into it. First thing I'm going to talk about is your skincare. You want to do, like, obviously if you're doing your makeup in the morning, which most people do, you want to do your whole acne or whatever routine you do in the morning and moisturize. And then you want to wait about 10-15 minutes before you put any actual makeup on your skin. The reason is you want your moisturizer to sink into your skin and just like really absorb all of that, and then it just gives you a really good base to work with. So the first thing we are going to start off with is primers. Now I did include a drugstore and a higher end primer. These are the two I feel like I use the most. This one is the Smashbox Photo Finish Pore Minimizing Primer. So this one was like talked about on YouTube for quite a while, and I know why, because it really does work and it just like kind of smooths out all your pores, so you just look, you know, all one texture kind of. So the next one from the drugstore is this No. 7 Beautifully Matte Makeup Base. I really like, so sometimes I do use these together because they do two different things. I feel like this one kind of smooths out your pores, it makes it all one texture. This one's going to mattify my face, which means like during the day, if I'm starting to, you know, like sweat or get oily or anything like that, it's going to, you know, kind of calm down that T-zone area. This works very well. So why don't we just use both today, since that's what I do sometimes whenever I want a full face. So we're starting with the Smashbox Pore Minimizing Primer, and I'm just going to put like a pea-sized amount and just dab this on the points where I feel I need the most, where I have like the bigger pores and stuff. So we're just going to work that in the skin with our fingers. Also make sure that when you're doing this, you have just washed your hands, because you don't want to spread any bacteria or anything on your face, because that is the most important part. Alrighty, so once that's all in, you can see that my face kind of like smoothed out. That's a good thing. So then I'm going to go in with this just a little bit though on kind of the points that I get most oily. This is just kind of more of a white based one, where this one is more like a silicone based primer. It comes off a little like a tint of like tan in it though. But anyways, so this one is a little bit different. You kind of have to press this into the skin because it doesn't go on so smoothly. It is almost sticky, but in a good way, because it's kind of making everything so matte that it's gonna stick. You know what I mean? If that makes any sense. So I'm just gonna press this into the skin. I'm gonna let that seep in for a little bit. So this is the Master Conceal Concealer by Maybelline, and that's what it looks like. Or you can do the Fit Me by Maybelline too, I think, yeah. So I'm just going to pour a little bit, squeeze a little bit on the back of my hand. And I'm going to go in with my Beauty Blender. And I'm going to just conceal, you know, any redness or, you know, acne scarring, anything like that. Just so we kind of have like a base to put that foundation on. So I'm just going to bounce this all over my face where I need the concealer. It is light for me, like I can tell. But we'll work with it. So after you're all concealed and crazy looking, you want to go in with your foundation. The ones I have been loving, and I'll give you both some options, is the Smashbox Studio Skin 15-Hour Wear Hydrating Foundation. So it's this one here. I saw a few YouTubers talking about this, and I really wanted to try it. Plus 15-hour, like, that's awesome. I feel like any primer you put underneath this really like goes hand in hand, so it's like really workable with primers and stuff like that. The only thing I will say that the consistency is pretty thick. It's not a watery foundation at all. It is very thick and like creamy, and once you put it on, you really got to work with it right away instead of it like letting it set. How sometimes like if you just like dot a like liquidy foundation on, you can kind of let it sit there and then get your beauty blender and blend it out. This one, you know, pat it on and then blend it out where you want it, you know, right away. And I'll show you that here in a second. A drugstore kind of dupe, I feel that, you know, almost does the same thing, but this one is just really good, is the Invisible Lift Blur Foundation by L'Oreal. I use this forever, obviously, but it's all out now. I feel like these two almost do the same thing. This one I think lasts longer and just, you know, obviously is a better quality. But if you're looking for a drugstore dupe kind of for this one, I would definitely try this out. It is almost the same consistency. Kind of got to work with it fast. So yeah. Another one I've been loving from the drugstore, that I tend to mix with that one because it does get, you know, kind of sticky, but in a good way because it's staying in on your skin all day, is the Matte and Poreless Fit Me foundation by Maybelline. I'm going to be applying my foundation with the Sigma Flat Kabuki F80 brush. So just as that flat, you know, kabuki brush. But what I'm going to do to help this foundation kind of blend out is I'm going to pour some on the back of my hand. It is a pump, so we're just going to squeeze a few pumps on the back of our hand, and that MAC Fix Plus is going to just help us blend that on our skin, because this is kind of a sticky foundation, you know what I mean? So I'm just going to work that. Stipple it on and then kind of do some circular motions as you're getting lower and kind of blend that down to your neck and so on and so forth. And just stipple it on. You want to stipple, especially because we did put concealer underneath to conceal those problem areas. You want to stipple because you don't want to swipe all that product you just put on and worked hard for, and swipe it all over your face and move it, and just becomes all cakey and a hot mess and streaky, and you don't need that. So MAC Fix Plus really works with this. It does have like a ingredient in it that almost does the same thing as this foundation. Sorry, it's really hard to talk when you're doing your makeup. That is like, it's gonna make the foundation stick onto your face. Obviously what we want. So this foundation is just amazing, I feel like. At first I didn't really like it because I was like, this is like not blending out. I tried using my beauty blender and it does not work with a beauty blender. You need, unless you get like that beauty blender drenched and then put this on. See how I look kind of shiny? It is because of the MAC Fix Plus, but give it like a few seconds and it's just going to sink into your skin and it looks like your natural skin. Like it doesn't look like you have foundation on at all, and it's just beautiful. But with every foundation, I feel like you have to kind of mess with it, play with it, to see how it applies. So you know how to apply it and what works best with your skin. This one I would definitely recommend a flat top brush and like MAC Fix Plus, or even maybe getting your brush a little bit damp and then applying it. Next is I'm going to grab just a tad bit of this Matte and Poreless Maybelline foundation. Like, I'm seriously just like a tiny bit, and we're going to apply it with a beauty blender just to make sure that really sinks in. And plus I like being matte, and it's just going to kind of brighten up the face just a tad. Plus he wants more coverage, everybody, so yeah. So we're just going to dab this on the skin very fast, very lightly. Almost doesn't, you know, do anything. But I love the matte look, obviously. Everything in my collection pretty much says matte. Except for this one. It says hydrating, but honestly I don't see anything really hydrating about it. So we went from, you know, discoloration, dark marks, you know, acne, to this full face, flawless skin. So now what I would usually do is use my Urban Decay De-Slick setting spray. And so the reason why I do it now is because I feel like it's all going to settle into my skin. So I want it to stay matte, obviously, because I love matte skin. So I'm going to just spray my skin, fan it dry, and then I will kind of go in when it's still damp and just lightly press that into the skin. So kind of make sure, you know, it gets in there. Now I would highly recommend let this settle into your skin for like 5-10 minutes, and then come back to it and, you know, do your contour, do your blush, all that good stuff. Wait about 5-10 minutes, and this is how it's looking. So it looks pretty matte, and honestly it looks like my skin. Can't really tell a difference. So I'm telling you that 5-10 minutes does make a difference. So if you do have the time, I would definitely recommend that. If not, that's okay. Just go on to doing your brows or your eyes or something like that, and then set it and come back to it. So all that set into the skin. Another reason why I didn't do my highlight is because I like setting my highlight with powder right after I do it so it doesn't settle into any fine lines. I'll be using my NARS Creamy Concealer. I believe it's in vanilla. To highlight the points, you know, very lightly. This concealer goes a long way, so you really don't need a ton of it. But I'm just going to highlight the parts that I think, you know, need to be highlighted. But pretty lightly, nothing too drastic. I'm kind of into the more subtle highlight lately. But you do whatever you want. If you really like highlighting underneath your eyes, go for it. I'm going to go in with a damp beauty blender. I just feel like it blends into the skin nicer than using a brush and stuff. So I'm just going to blend that. I did have some redness on my nose, but with our foundation it didn't show through. So that's why I did continue to highlight it. If it was still pretty red, I probably wouldn't have highlighted my nose, but for the sake of the video I just wanted to show you. But say, you know, you have a problem area with your nose or your chin, or your forehead seems to break out right in the spot you need to highlight, I would recommend not highlighting that part and just leave it how it is. I mean, you can go without highlighting, it's not a big deal. You could stay the same way, you know, just do a contour or something and pop a little bit of lighter powder underneath there and you would be good to go. So it's all up to you. This is just what I like to do. I'm going to put a little bit of leftover concealer on my eyelids just to prime for my what's it called, eyeshadow. So you can use an eyeshadow primer, but most of the time I like just using my concealer and setting it. So now that you highlighted, you can kind of see a brighter lifted look towards my eyes and my chin, you know, highlighting all the good points. Now I'm going to go in with this Shade and Light palette by Kat Von D. And I'm going to use this middle highlight right here. Set my eyelids, because we did put some concealer there, underneath my eyes mostly. This is just really going to brighten you guys up, make you look more awake. I don't really have trouble with under eye like darkness or anything, but I still like to do this. It's just a nice way to brighten up your skin, kind of make it not all like one tone or one color. Alright, so there is my highlighting routine. That's usually what I do. I do let my foundation and all that set for like 5 minutes. Then I will go and do my highlights and then set it right away because I don't want it to look cakey or anything like that. And this is a face powder by Milani, and it's in Dark Tan 07. I like using this to bronze up my face, which is like warming up your face. The reason why is because this is a more like warm tan, like you just came off the beach kind of glow. It looks really pretty. You could just leave it here, and I'm just gonna warm up my face. I'm not going to like really dig into that contour. I'm just gonna almost just run it all over my face and just warm it up, almost like you're applying a blush. You still want to stay in that contour zone though, but you're just warming up your face. Again, to make it kind of multi-dimensional, you know, create shadows where you wanted to create shadows, just stuff like that. Now, I love contouring and highlighting and all that stuff. I do pop like the leftover right here underneath my lip. It's going to create that really pouty lip. So then, you want to go in with your contour shade, which I'm going to use this middle shade. It is Shadow Play in the Kat Von D palette. Now, these contour shades have a undertone that is like a, kind of like an ashy, gray undertone. I want to create that hollowed out, you know, chiseled cheekbone shadow effect. So again, that's why contouring is a little bit different than bronzing, because when you bronze your face, you're warming it up, kind of using almost that undertone of like an orange undertone, you know, something like that, rather than doing contouring, which you're trying to create a shadow, which is going to be that more ashy, like gray undertone, if you get what I'm saying. So I'm going to go in with my Kat Von D Shade and Light brush. I like this brush. They're so soft, and it's pretty small and just like a perfect size to just kind of create that. So I'm going to go in with Shadow Play again and kind of make a funny face. Now this one I don't bring in all the way. End of my brow to about where it goes up in that arch. I do take it all the way up to this hairline and bring it down just slightly, but once that's like where you want it, I do kind of flick up. And there you are. Made a good contour line. I do start about the top of my ear and bring it down just a tad. You want to stay in this line from the corner of your mouth to here. But you don't want to bring it down too low. When you do blend this out, you want to almost flick a little bit higher, because if you go any lower, it's going to do the opposite effect. You want to look lifted and, you know, more chiseled. So I'm just going to go in and do this side. Again, just following that line, taking it from the hairline and bringing it down towards the corner of the mouth. And then let's just kind of flick it up. Like so. So you see kind of the gradient effect. It's getting brown, and then right in here is your really contour, you know, kind of a harsh line. This is optional, but to carve out that contour even more, I'll go in with a banana shade. It's not banana shade, I'm thinking of that. Balearic from the Kat Von D palette. And just carve out that line a little bit more. See that? Okay, after that I'm going to take this to like kind of the more high side points of my face and just barely contour up in here just to give it a little bit dimension and stuff like that. Okay. I am going to contour my nose since we did highlight my nose. Sometimes I don't, but today I will because I want to show you all that you can do. So now I'm just going to take the same brush, but I'm just going to pinch it so it's a tad bit thinner. Get my hair out of it. And I'm going to just contour my nose. So I'm going to just start light strokes. Bring it down. You don't want to go too heavy, you don't want too much product on your brush. You can always build, you can never really take away, okay? So again, build, build, build. Don't go all crazy and get a bunch on there, because you almost can't ever take away. So you can see there, highlight, and then I'm just going to go in and highlight right down the middle so we don't lose that highlighted effect. And blend that together. Are looking good. Just going in with the Romantic Rose blush by Milani. And I'm just going to dab my brush in it. These are pretty pigmented, so you don't need a ton. And I'm just going to apply that to the apples of my cheeks. Just like so. And then you can go in and blend, kind of pat, make sure everything's settled. Okay, last but not least, you can totally stop here. You don't have to do, anything else. But for me, I don't like looking oily, but I love how a highlight looks on me. So I'm going to take my Mary Luminizer by The Balm and highlight the like cheekbones, all that good stuff. So I'm just gonna highlight, ooh, girlfriend, cheekbones, my cupid's bow, and almost just like the center bridge of my nose. I don't like taking it all the way down. Again, I don't like to look too oily, but I like highlighting just right there. It kind of brightens up the middle of the face also. Okay. So I'm just going to go in and do the rest of my makeup, and like my eye makeup and stuff, and I'll see you. Alrighty guys, so that's it for this video. I just went ahead and did the rest of my makeup, and yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I had a lot of fun filming it for you guys. I hope my tips were helpful and I gave you some, drugstore and high-end options. If you did like this video, give it a big thumbs up. It really helps me out and motivates me to do more videos. And I just love you guys. I saw that I got, that I gained a few more subscribers, and I'm really happy. I just love doing makeup, and I love, inspiring people. So if you guys have any video requests or anything, please leave it down below, and follow us on all our social media, and more videos to come in the future. I hope you guys like this video, and I love you guys, and big hearts from me to you, and yeah, bye.